So here you see a typical movie store or online storefront application for a hypothetical store called MoviePick.com. And just like any other kind of store application, you have items that you can choose. I can choose an item, and it's going to go and give me the description of that item, a price. I can scroll down. It gives me details, overview of the product and everything. And then at the bottom here, it's going to give me a list of the people who like this movie also liked some other movies, such as Almost Famous and Chasing Amy and Dangerous Liaisons. For data mining, with data mining, to make this an intelligent application, really, the way you actually get this list of items is through a simple query in our language, which is called DMX. I'm not going to go into that now, but it basically looks just like SQL, except it has a special join called a prediction join. Now, with this application, I can add American Beauty to my shopping cart, and it gives me the recommendations there in my shopping cart. Now, interestingly enough, this is the same list that we saw before, but if I go to another product, say go click on Chasing Amy, add that to my cart, then say go on Dogma, add that to my cart, now I have a list of recommendations which is based on the combination of items in my shopping cart rather than just one item. That's data mining at work, data mining in production, data mining operating your website, and it's done through a simple query where I specify the products which I was looking at, which are in my shopping cart. Another example of data mining that's not as obvious as the people who bought these products also bought these other products is this sample I'm going to show you here. This is a typical data entry form where I'm entering gender, age, education years, occupation, and relation to head of household for a customer. So I could go here and enter in some data such as the gender is male, the person's 25 years old, they have a high school degree, they work on a farm, and the relation to head of household is that they're the son. And I can submit that, and my system takes that data. Well, I could also go in here and say, well, let's say the gender is male, they are 25 years old, and I type in something silly like 1,000 for education years. And again, farm and son. And I hit submit, and obviously everybody knows that nobody has 1,000 years of education when they're 25 years old or ever. So that's ridiculous, and it says there's suspicious data entry in the education years field, so we should change those values. Let's try to get more subtle here. Let's say any kind of programmer can write code that knows the education years as 1,000 is wrong, but let's go and put that in there as 20. So now we have somebody who's 25 who works on a farm, and they have 20 years of education, which is a pretty high advanced degree for somebody who's working on a farm at the age of 25. We'll submit, and now it still says there's suspicious data entry in education years field. Well, how does that happen? Let's change this back down to 16 here, and now we have somebody who has a college degree, and we'll hit submit, and it says, oh, now there's suspicious data entry in the occupation field. We'll change that down to professional technical, hit submit, and it says, you know what, now it's kind of weird that you have somebody who's 25, they're a college degree, they're a professional, but they're still living at home with their mom and dad. Seems kind of odd, so let's go and change that to head of house. They're living on their own, they're running their own household, hit submit, and now it takes it. Now what we did there is actually I used data mining in the background using the same kind of query as I showed you before, but with a different algorithm, using the clustering algorithm, to validate that this data was correct data and indicate which field looks weird. So this is an application of using data mining to do data cleansing at the point of entry.